President Donald Trump issues an order overturning the requirement that the U.S. military make public data relating to civilian casualties. The Pentagon announces plans to change its Arctic strategy to counter a perceived Russian and Chinese threat.
It's all about the money. It's all about the money.
Fans of pop legend Michael Jackson vent their fury over a new documentary alleging the star committed child abuse.
We should not be talking about Michael Jackson's music. Michael Jackson's music was created through decades of also a lot of suffering.
Every time a Michael Jackson song comes on, I know for myself, I'm going to think differently about it.
Hello, welcome to the program. I'm Daniel Hawkins, wherever you are today. Thanks for joining us on RT International. Now, President Trump has revoked an Obama-era rule requiring U.S. intelligence to publicly report the number of civilians killed in drone strikes. Caleb Morpin has the details.
A new executive order from the White House is reducing the amount of transparency when it comes to U.S. drone strikes. Now, the executive order basically revokes regulations made by the Obama administration in 2016. Essentially, the Director of National Intelligence will no longer be required to release information regarding unclassified U.S. strikes and the non-civilian deaths that are associated with them, and that would be in areas outside of active hostilities. The Pentagon will still have an obligation to report on civilian casualties in compliance with the National Defense Authorization Act of 2018 and 2019. That was very clear in Trump's executive order. Now, this is certainly not the first time that Donald Trump has indicated frustration with the level of information related to military activities that has been made public.
We're fighting wars, and they're doing reports and releasing it to the public. Now, the public means the enemy. The enemy reads those reports. They study every line of it. Those reports should be private reports. Let them do a report, but they should be private reports.
It's also important to note that we have a statement that is reportedly coming from a spokesperson for the White House Security Council. Now, it was given on the condition of anonymity. It's being widely reported. We cannot confirm it. What it is saying is that apparently the activity, the intent of this executive order is minimizing to the greatest extent possible civilian casualties and acknowledging the responsibility when they unfortunately occur during military actions, but at the same time getting rid of what they're calling superfluous reporting and requirements that don't actually improve government transparency, but rather distract intelligence professionals from their primary mission. The history of drone strikes is quite shocking. There have been a number of rather tragic incidents that have taken place over the years.
So what we're basically doing is telling the American people these wars are so important, but they're not so important that we actually have to tell you about them. They're so important, but in fact we can carry them out with clandestinity under the cover of darkness. I think what it really means is that Donald Trump wants to be able to have the Pentagon commit war crimes and crimes against humanity and do so with complete immunity and impunity.
I think that they want to make sure that Lockheed Martin and Raytheon and Boeing and other major defense contractors can continue to sell the drones and to sell the weapons. This is a very, very foolish way forward. It's foolish and it's dangerous and it's erratic and it's unpredictable. And all of those things don't contribute toward defense.